Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of The Name Sisters, the first official live episode for you, awesome audience. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm your host, Alexia May, and if you watched last week's episode, you'll remember Elena from Elena J. Engel, Amelia from Everything Baby Names, Rebe from Oh Baby Names, Megan from Tulip by Any Name. Where are you, Megan? There you are. And this week, Ren is with us. She wasn't able to be with us last week, but she's here this week, and we're so excited. She's from Ren's Baby Name blog. And unfortunately, Kristen from Chris Couture couldn't be here with us this week because she has like a bridal shower for herself or something. So we wish her the best. We're so excited for her. So this week we have some pretty exciting stuff. We each have a name that we would be surprised, pleasantly surprised, to hear on a baby today. So, Elena, what is your name?
Okay, my name I have picked out for this week is Elmer, E-L-M-E-R. And once again, it really fits my unusual style. The first namer in the group I shared it with immediately just said, "That's kind of weird." And I said, "Unusual namer." So I really like that it is easy to spell and pronounce, and everybody's heard of it, but obviously it's not used at all. And it's so old and kind of grandpa chic that, I mean, I would be extremely shocked and pleasantly surprised to see it used. I think a huge reason why people don't use it is because of the Elmer Fudd association with Looney Tunes, but my husband and I love Looney Tunes, and so that's actually a huge plus for us, for me, you know. But yeah, I would really, really love to see that used, and I think Elm would be a really accessible, naturey nickname for that.
Awesome. Amelia.
Okay, well, I actually have a riddle for my name this week because I am doing a giveaway. I'm giving away a copy of Cool Names for Babies, and this is one of my favorite name books. It's by Pamela Redmond Sachin and Linda Rosenkrantz, and they run nameberry.com, and this name book is so much fun. It's full of a lot of cool names, so if you can guess the answer to this riddle, leave your answer on Twitter, and the first person to get the answer to this riddle right will win a copy of this name book. So this is a name that I would be pleasantly surprised to hear used on a baby today. So here's the riddle. Bruce Willis helped to bring back this charming antique name. Now it's in the top 1,000, and I think it's here to stay. A popular brand of makeup is what you get if you add lean. This girl's name also rhymes with a lovely northern tree. The wife of the phone's creator, this name is lovable and sweet. So the answer to this riddle in a modern smartphone riddle. So send us a tweet, and whoever can guess the answer first will win a copy of Cool Names for Babies.
Awesome. That book is actually one of my favorite books too. I just love it. When the first time I read that book, it was so freeing for me because it has so many awesome names in there. Ren, would you like to share your name?
So the name I have is Rio, R-I-O-E, and it's a Spanish name that means river. And I think I'd be really pleasantly surprised because it matches a lot of popular names now. It's short, sweet, and it would also make a really great middle name. I like that it's a place name, and then I also like that it's kind of a nature name, but you wouldn't tell right away unless you knew the meaning of it.
Rebe, is there something you'd like to share, or have you been talking this whole time?
I'm sorry. It's like rumbling in my house right now.
Oops, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Rebe, would you like to share your name?
Am I sharing my name now?
Yes.
Sorry, it's really hard to hear because the dog's barking at a bunch. There's like 10 kids running over me. Okay, so this week I chose the name Finnian, and I think that is a really cool name. It's never been in the top 1,000 in the U.S. ever, so I'd be really surprised if I heard a kid named Finnian before. Finnian's an Irish name, and it means white, and it's a really great alternative to like a lot of the Finn names that are going around right now. So, there's Finley and Finn itself, and even Finnegan's kind of getting a little bit more popular. So, I don't know, I'd be really excited to meet a Finnian. And that's my name.
I like that name a lot. Megan.
I would love to meet a little boy.
Megan, can you hear me? I love this 10.
I think we've lost Megan.
Megan, where are you? Are you there?
That's my name. I think it's origin. It's really like meaning it's a hobby. And for picture,
We have robot Megan.
A little patches.
I don't think she can hear it.
Work on to get things ever that I really love. And I think that's refreshing choice.
Megan, I don't know if the audience heard that or not. I think we all had trouble hearing you. Are you there with us? All right, so we have, oh wait, I didn't share my name. My name is, I wrote it out, is Virginia, and in 2013 it only ranked at 551, so it is really, really uncommon. And at its peak, it was number 6 in 1921, so I think that just makes this name deliciously vintage. I just love it. And of course you have, the great old movie, was it called Hello, Virginia? It's such a lovely vintage name. And I know that like some classic nicknames, Ginger and even Ginny, but I think Vera and Gigi would make it a very nice current name with a current feel. I think it's so lovely. And kind of celebrating Independence Day this weekend, the first people from England who came to settle in the United States landed in Virginia. So I thought that Virginia would be a really cute way to honor Anne Elizabeth in a nice, subtle, patriotic way. So, let me see, we have some questions here. Some awesome questions. Lisa asks, my favorite name got shoved into the second middle name position with my last daughter. Can I use it as a first name for another daughter? What do you guys think about that?
Sorry, I don't hear. Whoever was speaking can go ahead.
Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, sure. My favorite name got shoved into the second middle name position with my last daughter. Do you think that I could use it for a first name for another daughter?
I would say no.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do that, surprisingly. Okay, not a lot, but I've seen that happen several times, and it's always a little bit mind-boggling for me. Because it does kind of stink that it got shoved into the middle name spot, but I mean, at the same time, you got to use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just kind of my personal opinion, but.
The place where I see that happen a lot is in royal families. They repeat names quite often. So, I mean, it does happen, especially in a family where it's a family name and it is used over and over. So, I mean, it does happen in royal families, like they will repeat the name Elizabeth or Beatrice or Victoria. They will use it for multiple daughters, maybe as a middle name for one and as a first name for another. So, I mean, it does happen, especially in like in the aristocracy in Europe. But I mean, there are so many beautiful, beautiful names out there, and I mean, I think if you look hard enough, you can fall in love with so many names, and just limiting yourself to maybe that one name that you're just really hung up on. I mean, try searching for some other names, and if at the end of your pregnancy you're still really, really in love with that name and you still really, really want to use it, then go for it. But I would try having an open mind and looking around for some new names.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you really, really liked the name, like, let's say your love was Violet, maybe use a different variation like Violetta or Viola or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Our second question is, what names do you guys like with Brogan Robert James? Boy names. Brogan Robert James. I kind of like Lincoln. I think Lincoln would kind of be cool with Brogan.
Lincoln and Brogan. I would stay away from other B names.
I knew a Brogan that had a sister named Piper. But they're old enough now that Piper would have been significantly less popular when she was born than it would be now. So, yeah, I thought that went really well together.
I'm not sure how popular Ryder is, but Ryder would be kind of cool with Brogan.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of has that hip vibe.
Yeah.
Rebecca vibe?
The Rebecca vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, this question is awesome, and there's probably going to be a lot of mixed reviews.
Oh dear.
It says, what do you think about using names your family, other than your spouse, doesn't like?
Fine.
Using your family-hated names.
Other than your spouse?
Yeah.
So you and your spouse agree on it? It's just like your in-laws don't agree on it, or your parents.
I think it's fun.
We can talk about this one.
I think it depends. I think it's like a situation-by-situation thing. Like, for instance, my dad does not like the name we're using for our little girl we're adopting because he can only picture it on a middle-aged, gross woman. Now, that's not very legitimate, but if he told me that he was bullied K through 12 by somebody with that name, I think that's more legitimate. You know what I mean? You know, just a random opinion that they can't back up with anything, I don't think should be taken into consideration. But, you know, if it's something more significant than that, I think maybe it should be thought about a little bit.
I think that you should just, you know, go with whatever name that you guys, like you and your husband like, or boyfriend or whatever, because it's you that is, like, you have to carry this child for 9 months, and you're going to call them, like, you're looking after them all the time, and you're going to call them this name forever. So you deserve the right to name your kid whatever you want, even if your family doesn't like it. But it does take guts to use a name that your family doesn't like, because it's hard to love a name when everyone else hates it too. So.
Yeah.
My advice is that if you're worried about what you're, don't talk to them about what you're going to do. It's harder for them to criticize it because they're looking at your child. So they can't be like, oh, what a horrible name, but a beautiful baby. It's harder for them to say that. But yeah. I know my dad has famously said, oh, because I like the name Theodore, why not Thea Window? So, I mean, parents can be pretty ridiculous when it comes to names that you like. So I just don't think I will, care what my parents think when I have kids, because they know that I'm obsessed with names, and they know that their opinion is not necessarily going to sway my opinion.
Yeah. I agree with all that was said. What would you name a sister to Samson, Griffin, and Violet? Not looking for anything too popular.
Well, I think we should all give an answer along the line for this and see if any of us think the same thing.
Okay. Lead us away, Elena.
Oh, Lila.
That would be beautiful. Amelia, do you have a name?
Penelope.
Ooh. Gorgeous. Ren? Samson, Griffin, and Violet, and I would say Melody. I think Samson, Griffin, Violet, and Melody would be very, very pretty.
That's really pretty, yeah.
Do you think Madeline and Linnea would make a cute sister sim set?
Yeah, I think they don't sound similar, and they don't sound too different either. Linnea is a lot less popular than Madeline, I believe.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, there's completely nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah, I think those are beautiful names. That would be the only thing that would bother me personally if I were thinking about using it, is the huge difference in popularity, but otherwise they sound gorgeous together, I think, anyway.
Can you guys hear me now?
Sounds good. Sorry, I'm just looking at these questions.
Megan. We haven't... I think Megan's back in now.
Oh, Megan, I don't know if everybody before... Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you. No, we can see you.
Can you say something?
Can you hear me? No?
Oh, poor Megan.
I know. We can't hear Ren either. She's stuck in cyber world.
Well, we've all been dealing with hurricanes and internet outages, so we're trying to get through
I
this.
can see Ren.
Ren, can you hear us?
Oh, no, she's gone.
Okay. All right. I stumbled across the name Azalee. I really like the idea of the name, and I've done some research but can't find much on the name. Could you tell me your thoughts? It's Azelie.
A-Z.
Azelie. Azalee?
I'm wondering if it's a form of azalea?
Yeah, that's what she thought, maybe.
Maybe like a French form of it, maybe?
It might be a French form of a variant of Azalee, which is the French variation of azalea. I think that's probably where it comes from. And azalea is a flower name. I mean, that's the only thing I can think that it might possibly be.
It has a pretty sound.
It really does, yeah. It's very spunky.
Yeah. I would say, like, because I had trouble reading it, that unless you lived maybe in a more French-enriched area, to maybe stay away from it. And I would say, I mean, I think azalea is a lot prettier, but I would say maybe not, because it does have pronunciation issues. You guys?
I love the name Azalea. I have a character named Azalea in my novel, and I totally love the name Azalea. So if you like Azalee, I would suggest Azalea personally.
Yeah.
There's also a French name, Azalea, which I believe means great wind. So that's a similar sounding name, which is a lot of fun.
Okay. Our last question is, what do you think of the name script? Like a written script.
I really like word names, and that one might be too out there for me.
I agree. The first
I
thing
agree.
I thought of was the Tales of the Crypt. That
Yep.
like freaked me out really bad as a kid. And like if you're a writer or something, and there are so many other awesome like writer names that you could use besides script, but I think script is probably a little too out there.
Mm-hmm.
You guys agree?
I think if it had like huge significance to the person, that it could be a middle. But I would say probably not as a first name. That would be very confusing as a first name, unless it was maybe just a nickname.
It's hard to tell though because like Atlas is becoming popular, and you know Story is popular. Well, not popular, but it's being used. So it's like maybe if more people used it, then it would be more acceptable. It's hard to tell though.
The thing about Atlas was it was a Greek mythology name.
Mm-hmm.
There's some other options though if you are a writer. There's poet is being used, sonnet being used, lyric is being used. I think those are more accessible options than script. And the script does have a huge significant meaning to you, then I would use it as a middle name and a middle name only.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think we can hear Ren now.
Ren,
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Yay!
We've got to get a better system, but this is still pretty awesome for now. I mean, it like we're having internet trouble, but it blows my mind that we are in 2 countries, 5 time zones, like from ocean to ocean, and we're still able to do this. So even though there's like some technological difficulties, this is kind of amazing. I mean, like 20 years ago, they were talking about this in the Jetsons cartoons. And we're doing this now. Does anybody have a Rosie around here? It's Siri. So, I just wanted to say hello to Abby Sandell from Appalachian Mountain. She's watching us. And also Claire from The Scoop. You guys are awesome. And I am excited to announce that the winner of the riddle, which the answer was Mabel, is Erin. And her handle is at Erin Loves NKOTBSB. And if you would like to tweet us what that stands for, that would be awesome. But anyway, you have won Amelia's awesome book.
It's not my book. I didn't write it, but
Well, you're still giving it away. That's awesome. Amelia, did you have any thoughts on the name Mabel? Did you want to talk about that?
Mabel is so beautiful. Bruce Willis named his youngest daughter Mabel, and so that kind of brought it back into the spotlight. It was in the top 20 back in the late 1800s. It comes from Amabel, which is, I believe it's a Latin name that means lovable, and I just think Mabel is so cute. And I would love to meet a little girl named Mabel. I just think that would be the most precious thing because it's such an old grandma name, but it's so usable now, Mabel. And you can get the nickname May or the nickname Belle, and both of those nicknames are just adorable nicknames. I love it. I love it so much.
I know.
So,
go ahead. Sorry.
Does she need to send her information so I can send this to her?
Okay.
Alex.
Awesome, and once again, I'm sorry for all of the technological difficulties. We're trying to get the hang of this, but thank you so much, guys, for coming and watching us for this episode. We will be announcing or so our next episode. But thank you so much for joining us. We just love you guys so much, and we'll see you around. Bye.